Santa Fe, the wasteland of Bogota. A deadly mix of prostitution, drugs, and violence.
It's easy to kill you with a gun like this.
Here, Colombian gangsters are in charge. They're greedy, tough as nails, and utterly ruthless.
People die here. If it's you or me, it's you.
A no-go zone, spiraling out of control.
I grab your bag and then...
Where the most dangerous and desired currency of all is sex.
If they want to let them do it.
Whoever walks the streets in Santa Fe needs to be prepared for everything.
There's discrimination, rape, the evil eye.
Police patrol but have no real power in this area. Killers, prostitutes, junkies. They're what Santa Fe is all about. One of the most dangerous places on Earth. Bogota, capital of Colombia. For its 7 million inhabitants, a huge gulf exists between rich and poor. Anybody with money lives behind walls and barbed wire, enjoying the luxury. But under the surface, the tension is palpable. Wealthy Colombians and unsuspecting tourists. The downtown area is still protected by police, private security forces, and even the military, just to keep the place somehow under control. Just a stone's throw away, people are living in utter squalor. In a place where the smallest mistake could mean the difference between life and death. Santa Fe, Bogota's red light district. A no-go zone that lives by its own code and makes its own laws. Santa Fe is basically one endless street hustle. All manner of homeless people and addicts find their way here. Many of them ready to kill for the next hit. In the crime statistics for Bogota, Santa Fe stands uncontested in first place. This no-go zone in the Colombian capital is located southeast of the city center. Santa Fe, 7 blocks of utter lawlessness. Within its borders, everyone is fair game. Nothing is safe. There are no laws and no police. That's what makes the chaotic streets of Santa Fe not only dangerous, but for many criminals and prostitutes, very appealing. Here, the lawless are in charge, from the top to bottom, inside and out, and they decide the fate of anyone who sets foot in the no-go zone. Like Paisa, a pimp, a living legend in Santa Fe. Paisa is the manager at the most frequented sex club in the whole district. Here, where power, money, and sex converge, it's his word that counts.
Yesterday I was in the club till 4 o'clock in the morning. Every night the same. I'm already programmed for that. I do this job now for 18 years. Fucking 18 years I work in this club.
Paisa's home, directly above where the streetwalkers gather. Every morning after a long, wild night, the no-go zone rises to another day and another night servicing its customers. Time for Paisa to prepare his club for another night's work. It's only a couple 100 meters from where he lives. The many prostitutes along the way are mostly working for themselves. Like Patricia, she's been selling her body here for 16 years now.
For one time, I take around 20 euros. If you want more, it's about 50 for 1 hour. It depends how much time you want.
Paisa the pimp, on the other hand, depends on permanent employees. They work exclusively according to his rules and obey without question. His club is considered to be the best and the most notorious. Even powerful drug lords and government officials come and go here.
We have every kind of woman you can imagine here. Long legs, big tits. You can get everything you want from our girls.
Paisa guarantees his customers that all their desires will be fulfilled. Besides sex, there are plenty of drugs to be had on the streets around the club, whether marijuana, cocaine, speed, or heroin. But none of these is anywhere near as aggressive as bazuco, street drug number 1. It's a powder made from the waste generated by producing cocaine. Whoever takes bazuco has really hit bottom. Even collect and sell garbage to get their next dose. All these drugs are sold by competing gangs. Positioned in the western section of the no-go zone is the headquarters of Banda de los Topos, the mole gang. Their areas of specialty, hard drugs and holdups. The gang does most of their business undercover. Almost everyone here has several murders on their conscience. Drug boss Huichu doesn't make anywhere near as much money in other places in Bogota like he does in the no-go zone.
Santa Fe is the focus of the city. All the gangsters and addicts come here to take drugs. Here everybody's looking for something, because here you can find any kind of sex service. Everything you can imagine.
Huichu and his henchmen try to keep the other gangs out of the area. Their plan is simple. They flood Santa Fe with all the drugs their customers could ever want. And their best customers are themselves. At headquarters, cocaine and marijuana are as basic as bread and water. Boss Huichu's most loyal follower is the new kid on the block, Aguas. He's reserved, ambitious, and not a hardcore junkie.
I only smoke marijuana. I don't like cocaine because I want to save money. I try to go to other countries.
Everyone here dreams of one day making a big score. But to expand, the gang needs one thing most of all: more firepower.
It's easy to kill you with a gun like this. These small pistols are the best for street fights to kill somebody fast.
Rookie Aguas trusts in his guardian angel more than anything.
I never have been injured or got shot. I arrived home and had bullet holes in my clothes, but nothing happened to me. Someone prayed for me to be safe. I killed when it was necessary to kill. Sometimes my partners show mercy to the other people. I don't. I just shoot them.
The gang gets ready for a night robbery to replenish the coffers with cash, so they can pay for the next drug delivery. Even during daylight hours, Santa Fe is a rough ride. At night, the place comes alive, and Santa Fe's dark side walks the streets looking for action. The streets fill up with prostitutes and potential customers of all ages. The pimps generally stay in the background. The most famous of all the clubs is the Piscina, and it will soon open its gates. Pimp Paisa makes one last check to make sure everything is ready for the standard customers and for the special requests of the VIPs. After all, his establishment has the reputation of offering customers the best of the best. Young, well-groomed, pretty. Basically everything a John isn't likely to find from the average Santa Fe streetwalker. But also for the corresponding price. Here, sex costs about 5 times more than it does on the street.
You can do it in a room like this. You start downstairs at a table in the bar, where you can talk to the girls. Then one will take you here and you have some fun. Our customers do whatever they want. Here, nobody will bother them. That's how it works here. And we control everything.
What goes on behind closed doors doesn't matter to the police. In here, there are no police raids, whether in customers' rooms or in the private rooms of employees, cleaners, chambermaids, security. They not only work here, they live here. 2 or 4 to a room, close to where they work. Total control. Pimp Paisa then inspects the most important area of all, the VIP area.
This is where the big guys party, the mafia. With their girls, they take drugs, prove how much money they have, and have sex in the pool. It's really perverse what goes on here. 1 hour here costs 150 euros.
A little bit later, the show starts. And along with it, the sex business. And the violence. A couple of streets over, the mole gang is preparing for a string of robberies. Anyone who resists will face death. For about 10 years, this is how Boss Wichu has been ruling the no-go zone.
I always think about what our gang can do better. I have my right-hand man, the person I trust. I have many people who transport my drugs, and other people who will sell them in the streets. In total, I have around 70 people working for me in this zone. I trust them, and they all work for me.
From murderers to the homeless to supposedly harmless neighbors, the drug boss has bribed them all, which is how he keeps his system going, while his pet student Aguas does the dirty work.
I steal bags from people. Take it like this. If you don't let go, this will happen.
Santa Fe is right next to the city center, where the world of the rich begins. The mole Aguas and his buddy Hes do their hunting in the outskirts.
I profile people. It depends on what they use, what they have. Rings, chains, well-dressed, or if they're in a fancy car. I even profile the way they walk. I can tell who has money.
For their robberies, Aguas and Hes ride together on their motorcycle. They strike quickly and brutally. Guns are always at hand. A simple handbag is worth more to them than the human life holding it. At the outskirts of the no-go zone, the police rarely patrol, if at all. Occasionally, they make a spot check. The cops know there's not much they can do about the criminals from Santa Fe. And those who try to do something are simply bribed by gang bosses.
The police are corrupt green rats. They pass through in their uniforms because I pay them. It's really expensive to pay them.
The result being that telling the difference between the honest and the corrupt is practically impossible in Santa Fe. No one really trusts anyone else. Studies show that 2 of 5 police officers are corrupt, which is why 2,300 officers recently quit the force in Bogota. An average of 1/3 of the people are victims of crimes. Even if the police actually do their job and search the no-go zone for weapons and drugs, it usually amounts to less than a drop in the bucket. Only a rare few dare to really take action against the violence and random lawlessness in Santa Fe. Like Diana Navarro San Juan. She once sold her body here until the situation got worse and worse.
Now we see a big increase in people living on the streets in this area. Before, there weren't so many homeless people, but now they are coming. Back then, you would not see people taking drugs on the public sidewalk or streets, but now you see them.
In her younger years, before she underwent her gender transformation, Diana was a male prostitute. Then she followed her dream and took the decision that radically changed her life. She began to identify as a woman and has been fighting for the rights of Santa Fe's street prostitutes ever since. Currently, there are 4,700 prostitutes in Santa Fe alone, more than 3 times as many as 5 years ago.
It is difficult because many people don't have documents. If a company hires someone who has an illegal migration situation, they get fined a year's wages. That's a problem. People who have no documents are gonna be found out.
Diana didn't spend the money she earned from the streets on drugs. Instead, she followed her other dream and went to law school and has regular dealings with the authorities. For many in Santa Fe, Diana is their last hope. Whether they work independently or under the protection of a pimp, the most powerful of which is Paisa.
Hey, how are you?
Fine, fine. And you?
Lot of work?
Okay. What kind of work?
It's so annoying to work with the authorities right now, but I'll manage.
Okay, all good.
Bye.
Bye. Best of luck.
Diana's only chance to make a change is to stay on good terms with the pimps and hope, in that way, to protect the prostitutes from abuse, rape, and even murder. At the same time, the Piscina nightclub gets its trade in sex up and rolling, for those who can afford it. And that's exactly why Pimp Paisa's first priority is not necessarily to attract customers, but to make sure no one gets in who doesn't belong there.
I hope that everything will be fine. It's Friday night, so a lot is going on. Drunk people and guys without money.
Today, Paisa expects to welcome the great and the not-so-great. Cartel bosses, politicians, gangsters, and big businessmen. They know one thing: his club is basically a space where law has no place. which means it's the perfect location to mix business with pleasure. Everyone pays the standard price to start, 100 euros for 40 minutes. Special requests cost extra. And anyone who wants to get in here at all first has to get into Santa Fe. At the border of the no-go zone, the robbers Aguas and Hez continue to hunt for rich prey. They mostly steal bags, phones, cash, and credit cards. Their attacks are quick and effective. Stop, pistol to the head, rip the valuables from someone's hands, and off they go. Soon, dusk will fall. Time for a quick status update. The two mole gang members check their take.
There was a man and a woman, and we robbed them. We got cell phones, jewelry. We took their cash when they went out of a bank.
They're allowed to keep 2/3 of what they steal. The rest goes to Boss Wichu, in order to keep the mole gang going and growing, to keep the no-go zone awash with their product, and the addicts at their mercy. Especially those on the Santa Fe Strip, a place where time has taken a break and life plays to a different beat. Already in the early morning hours, addicts and prostitutes gather again. Each day, a few more join them. No-go zone is their last hope. Also for Patricia. She's working for herself and is the mother of 2 children and has been selling her body since she was 20. Her family is not supposed to know how she earns her money, which is why Patricia rents a hotel room for herself and her customers.
To work on the streets is really dangerous. But I have to go out. It's my job.
The way she has always done it. The Strip has been her workplace for 16 years. Every day anew, every day the same. Patricia is doing it all
For my children, my relatives, my family. I think about all the stuff we need. Sometimes you have a bad day, sometimes a good one.
But recently, everything changed. Her son has been sent to prison. Her daughter has been taken into custody of the Youth Welfare Service.
Now I go, grab some money.
Patricia only sees one option: earn enough money to pay someone off, to get her daughter out of care, out of danger, but straight back to Santa Fe in a no-go zone that is not much better than a drug den. That keeps getting deeper. The source? Exactly 3 blocks to the west, a new delivery arrives at the headquarters of the Banda de los Topos. First, leaders Wichu and his henchmen inspect the goods. 3 kilos of marijuana and 1 kilo of cocaine, smuggled straight into the city from the producers in the Colombian jungle. Street value, 12,000 euros. At the same time, they're taking popa, a liquid stimulant.
In Colombia, we take this a lot to party and dance.
They start with marijuana. A lot of people smoke it pure, at a price of just 2 euros per gram. Even the poorest residents of Santa Fe can afford it from time to time. Gang boss Wichu has been smoking it every day since he was a boy. He also uses cocaine on a regular basis. Supposedly, he doesn't do any other drugs.
I always like to listen to rap music and smoke marijuana. I like the fancy cars of those rap stars, the big money, the sexy girls, the alcohol. They always have a good party. Dealing drugs, I can also get a life like this.
Wichu is not alone in this desire. Colombia is the world's biggest producer of cocaine. 70% of the white powder comes from here, and its use is extensive in its home country. Colombia has the highest rate of consumption in all of South America.
One bag has 400 grams. Together, it's 1.2 kilograms. We need to pack it in these small bags at 1 gram each. So this means 400 grams, 400 small bags. 1 gram we sell for €5. So we're talking about a total of 6,000 euros.
Dumping prices and flooding the market to finally take over the no-go zone once and for all. For many, it's a hopeless struggle, but not for Diana. From the time she was a male prostitute 30 years ago, she's been saving every cent for law school, and she's been successful at it. Since then, she has been fighting for the residents of the no-go zone, especially the children.
Many boys and girls go to this place because they know many people come here for sex. Only some little establishments offer them a place to work. Generally, child prostitution is illegal in Colombia.
But it still exists. Even bordellos that specialize in it. Official figures estimate there are about 35,000 underage victims of child prostitution and abuse. And that's just the official number. No one knows the actual statistics. And less than 90% of recognized crimes are even followed up on by police, something Diana has to deal with.
Every day, I have to negotiate. But I belong to all the groups. This allows me to do the institutional work for the government and with the different people here.
Diana is on her way to a meeting with the prostitute Patricia. They've only known each other for a few days and are trying together to get Patricia's daughter back home. A few minutes later, Patricia is back on the strip, hoping for at least a couple of tricks to get enough money for the following day.
I need it for everything you need. My children, food, my rent, bills, everything. For that, I have to do what I do. It's my way to survive, even though other people think I'm a bad person for doing prostitution.
It's hard to say exactly how many prostitutes are in Santa Fe. What's clear is that an estimated 10,000 are working daily in the no-go zone. 15% of them are under 18. Violent acts against prostitutes are rarely reported, and when they are, the investigations usually lead nowhere. Being raped is just one of the risks of the business.
I'm waiting to get my first money. Smoking and talking. I hope some men will arrive now.
Patricia can't afford to be choosy. As long as her customers are prepared to pay. Three blocks to the west, the Mole Gang is currently sorting the last packages of their latest drug delivery. Boss Wichu and his gang want to get all of it, all 4 kilograms of drugs into people's hands today.
We work every day. On Sundays too. The drugs have to be moved and traded all the time. Business must go on. Sometimes I don't like to work, but one day of work means a lot of money.
The market value of cocaine in Santa Fe is lower than elsewhere. 1 gram costs less than €5. But Wichu has very little in the way of procurement costs, and the high volumes mean he can make good money, and he knows that his position is highly coveted.
I often think that any day could be my last, and that somebody will kill me. In this war, everyone has his day.
The risk of death is a daily reality. One moment and it could all be over. Which is why Wichu enjoys the here and now to the fullest, to excess. Today is today. He takes it all, as much as he can. And if anybody attacks them or threatens their territory, it means war.
We have to deal with death every day. In the last months, we had around 20 to 25 murders here. I don't want to kill anymore. But if the question is you or me, it's you.
The cocaine has now been portioned out. Time to sell it. Using taxis from garages, hidden in food deliveries. The most dangerous of all is selling it on the streets. For this, Wichu uses the rookies. A job for Aguas. He has to prove himself here, too. Further north, Paisa the Pimp is on the move again. Last night was a long one, but daily business is calling. Paisa knows his customers. They always want the latest product. Fresh, unspent, willing to do anything. He has no reservations about this kind of human trafficking. Prostitute Susana has just fled from Venezuela and desperately needs money, while Paisa needs new girls.
The first week, everything is free of charge. You can live here and you get something to eat. In the second week, you pay for the accommodation and the food. From then on, we get your money. Yeah, this is how it works. Our rooms are good. We have cold water and a fitness center.
A club like this is something totally new to Susana. Previously, she worked in rural Venezuela, moving from village to village as demand required, and selling her services to agricultural workers. For her, Santa Fe is a different league. Here in a club, she can make money faster. She's still young, pretty, and healthy, but she doesn't know how to pole dance. Not absolutely necessary to work for Paisa, but useful. She'll have to demonstrate other skills.
If some girl wants to fuck me, of course I do it. I'm not an asshole or an idiot. But if she wants to fuck me to get a job, I don't do it.
And what's upstairs?
The reserved area, the private rooms.
Okay.
Maybe this will be where Susana finds a place to call home. She knows the competition is fierce. To stay in business, she's aware that she can't be prudish. She'll have to do everything required of her. 50% of the money goes to Paisa and his organization. But customers are rich. 40 minutes in Piscina costs €100. On a good night, they can expect 5 to 10 customers.
A really good bed.
The rules at the best club in the no-go zone are harsh. The customers, drug lords, corrupt politicians, rich Colombians. They pay well, but they get whatever they demand. And much like on the street, the truth is direct and brutal.
If you're gonna without a condom, if they want you do it in the Don't tell them it hurts, because then they know you never did it. If they have enough money, you can do it.
Yes, money is money.
It can smell bad, but that's how it is.
More than 35% of the prostitutes here are just like Susana, refugees from Venezuela. who have fled from one of the most major humanitarian crises of our time, stranded in Colombia, where they are illegal and unwanted.
Some girls work here for over 10 years, but normally they come and go. Now I work a lot with foreigners. The Colombians go away from this place. Now we have a lot of Venezuelan girls. They want to make money. 2-3 million pesos. With that money, you're rich in Venezuela. Trust me, they come back without money and start working again.
Paisa gives Susanna the job. His customers are hungry for something new. In the south of the no-go zone lies the apartment of ex-hustler Diana Navarro San Juan. It's a place to go for outcasts like this man. Since having a stroke, he doesn't get sick pay from the state. Diana registers a complaint. The prostitute Patricia is also waiting. In her break, she stops by briefly to report about new difficulties with the authorities.
It's a difficult situation. A really, really complex case.
Patricia doesn't understand the official process, the laws, the paperwork. Helpless, angry, all she has to cling to is prostitution.
I will do everything for her. I will work really hard to get her back. I don't want anybody to blame me or my child. My work is the only thing we live from.
The only way she'll get her kids back? Pay off the authorities. So back to work. Every night, every peso counts. 2 blocks away, gang members Aguas has the most dangerous job of the night. At the border area to the neighboring gang, selling drugs on the street is always a balancing act. Out here, deals mean risking death. Every customer could also be an assassin. Today, Aguas is right in the line of fire. His only backup, his buddy Hez, is a lookout. The coast appears to be clear for the first deal. Police are nowhere to be seen around here. It's other people that are the source of danger, especially on Santa Fe's border near enemy territory. But Aguas is not afraid. He's killed people before and is willing to do it again. No problem.
Yes, of course it's risky. This work is dangerous because many times they want to kill me. The other drug dealers in the streets want to take our territory. And also the clients want to kill me to rob my money.
Boss Wichu couldn't care less. He figures the death of individual employees into his calculations.
The drug war for the market is a daily fight. It's because we make 100% profit. Every day we fight for our territory. Whoever wants to deal on our ground must cooperate with us. If they don't, we kill them.
And that's just what the enemy gangs are thinking. Each side fans the flames of the gang war, an endless struggle for every square meter of the no-go zone. Every street corner sees its share of blood. Aguas doesn't know if the next person he sees will be a friend or a foe. He's a human target. The over 5,000 hardcore junkies of Santa Fe would do anything for money. They're at the bottom of the food chain, and down there, they can only afford the cheapest street drug.
Now I deal with a pack of bazuco. 1 bag for 1 pipe is only 50 cents. I like selling drugs because I can make money fast. In 3 days, I earn what I normally would get in 1 month.
Aguas and Hez are only one of many teams in the gang known as Banda de los Topos, which includes 30 other pairs of dealers, mainly in Santa Fe, but also in the rest of the city. drug deals are still the most lucrative business, and more addicts means more money. The biggest portion will find its way to the pockets of drug boss Wichu.
On a good day, we can make 5,000 euros for the organization that our group belongs to. A nice amount.
He only reinvests a fraction into new merchandise and bribing the cops, because he needs them to stay quiet and not disturb his work. For example, his business coordinating robberies. One method is particularly profitable.
Our organization is very large. We also have women who work for us. They are very good-looking girls and make you want to fuck them. When these guys are not taking care, we rob them. If they have a credit card, we make them go to the cash point over and over again. We do this all night and empty their accounts. This way, we fill our pockets.
One mistake in Santa Fe can cost you everything. Meanwhile, Paisa is raking it in at the Piscina Club. At the end of his 50s, he's made it. Life at the center of the red light district. Access to women and drugs. Paisa has enough money to get by, but one thing is still missing: a serious girlfriend.
I tried with a lot of women, but I am alone. I mean, they don't like the way I live my life.
Paisa is only responsible to the owner behind the scenes, and he has to make sure that there are more women in the pipeline.
Hey, my love. Do you want to work here?
The cash is rolling in at Piscina. Freelance prostitute Patricia is also noticing an upswing in business. Finally.
Hey, my dear. Hello. How are you?
What's your name? I'm Daniel.
I'm Patricia. Half an hour? 20 euros.
How does it work with the room?
I pay for the room. Let's go.
Good thing. First client of the day. He just wants the standard program and accepts using a condom. No extras. The cash is exchanged before the work begins. First money of the night. No problems.
I would never do it without protection. For no money in the world will I do it without a condom. You can get a lot of diseases.
But otherwise, Patricia will do anything. She has no choice. Her body can still do what she needs it to do. In general, she's fit and healthy. But the competition is always growing. Younger women, girls, even more desperate, even cheaper. Slashed prices are stealing Patricia's customers. All this means she'll have to see more customers and spend more time on these dangerous streets.
It depends how long I work tonight. If I have a good day, I sometimes go home early. But today, I have to stay longer.
The no-go zone, known as Santa Fe, a district on the dark side of Bogota. Prostitution, gangs, drugs, and the violence that goes along with them. A home without hope. Barely anyone who has ever lived here has been able to get out unharmed. And the ones affected most are the weakest among them, the children. Those who grow up here have no choice. Either you dominate or you will be dominated. Either you are part of a gang and participate in its violence and power struggles and drug wars, or you will be the victim of them. It's a vicious circle that just keeps on spinning, taking victims at every turn. Pimp Paisa will continue to work every night at the city's best club, organizing new women, making sure they do everything customers want. His plan for retirement is a pipe dream.
Of course I saved some money. I'm not a millionaire, but I'm also not bankrupt. I have enough money to buy food and sit down with a Coca-Cola at the beach.
Because he's also been molded by Santa Fe. Patricia will continue to prostitute herself as long as her body holds out, in hopes that someday she'll be able to provide a better life for her daughter.
I hope I can take her home soon. Then I will start working during the day, so I can be with her at night.
Until she manages that, she'll keep working on the streets. Diana wants to make this place a little better. She's fighting for justice each and every day.
I live from day to day. Every day, I need to reinvent ways to impact the life of the people and this place.
She knows that to make any kind of change here, you have to adapt and be resilient, things she knows well from her past life. And the gangster Aguas still wants to get out of Santa Fe to pursue his big dream.
My future is now. I want to study or move to a different country.
But will drug boss Wichu let him go? He wants to make the Mole Gang even more powerful, marketing his products directly.
The truth is that me and my group are fed up with this city. Now we want to expand. In other countries, they pay more for the drugs. This means that we can earn more. For example, in Mexico, Argentina, the United States, and Canada. In these countries, the prices are higher, which means more money for us.
Santa Fe, a place that has a bad influence on people. No morals, no future. One of the most dangerous places on Earth.